Welcome to the Your Invisible Advantage podcast. This is the podcast where we uncover the hidden forces shaping influence, power, and success through your personal brand, your business, and your life. My name is Taylor. If you're new here, you can call me T. And I really love to decode psychology behind what separates those from who magnetize success from those who chase it. So if you're ready to become the one who's impossible to ignore and gets everything you want in life, this is the podcast for you. So let's dive in. Today, I'm going to be sharing why being a self made brand, personal brand, is literally the only unshakable advantage left in the world right now with the way that our industry is going. If you are an online coach, service provider, creator, etc., this episode is going to be for you. And this is the only thing in the world that is going to make you not become replaceable, right? And I want to talk about why most people are building brands that are basically just waiting to get wiped out. And in, I believe, a few years' time, we will see a lot of people actually won't be around anymore. So that's why I want to do this episode, to really speak to the people who it's like, no, I know I want to be around. I know I want to make it through, and I'm ready to build a self made brand, right? So last night, I was reading my book and then I was scrolling TikTok, and you know, like classic productive entrepreneur behavior, and I kept seeing these creators, and everyone's always freaking out about AI. And I get it. AI is really scary. It is, it's fucking cool. It's fascinating. I use it in my business, and it's also fucking terrifying, But these people were having full blown meltdowns of how they feel like they're going to get replaced by, a bot, a robot. And I just kept thinking to myself, the only reason people are really scared of that is because they've built themselves into a fucking corner. And what no one really seems to talk about is, if you are worried about being replaced, it's because you've created a brand or a business that's based on what you do rather than who you are, right? So we are living in a bizarre moment in time, right? Everyone is screaming online about building a personal brand, but 99% of what people are doing is the most replaceable shit I've ever seen. And they're becoming just the Instagram strategy girl or the sales funnel guy or the mindset coach who does this. And it's like they're literally just waiting to be obliterated by the next platform shift, the next market shift, the next AI tool. And that's why people are worried, is because they're putting all of the emphasis on what they do rather than who they are. And I see this everywhere. The content creator who's panicking about Instagram changing their algorithm yet again, the course creator whose entire business model just got crushed by some new tech because now AI can pretty much teach us everything a course can, the coach who's desperately trying to keep up with trends instead of actually being the one to create them, set them, like all these things. Are we not seeing a pattern here? It's because people are not self-made. They have made themselves for an algorithm. They have made themselves to be in service of other people to the extent where they are only getting paid for what they do. And I want you to get paid for what you do. Like, that's not bad. You're allowed to have a service. And I want you to be the chosen one because of who you are, not because of what you do. And there's a very big difference. One person is building a business where they just get paid once and it's a transaction and people don't want you for anything more than that. The other one gets paid because they're good at what they do, but also they have a fucking personality and personal brand that has been self made that people want to fucking be a part of. Right? There are the rare few who seem to understand this, and those are the people who you look at and you think yourself when you look at them, I know you do, wow, they are fucking magnetizing. They are untouchable. They're the ones who literally could switch platform tomorrow, their audience would follow them. They're the ones who could literally launch an offer of completely different status to what they're doing right now, different material, etc., and people would follow them. People would pay them money to learn from them on a new topic that they've literally just introduced. What's the difference? It's they're not just building a business. They're not just building a brand. They're becoming self-made. And this is this is a term that I'm going to coin, is to become self-made, a self-made brand. That is someone who can become untouchable. That is someone who cannot be replaced. And that is why we need to build our brand DNA. right? And I don't mean self-made like, oh, I did this by myself. It's not that bullshit. Like, we all need help, we all need support, and you get there a lot quicker in quantum leap with people in your corner. But and honestly, like, you'll self-sabotage yourself at every point because, like, yeah, success just will make you sabotage. Like, that's just how we work. But what I mean by self-made is it's your actual self is what you're making. You're working on building yourself, your personality, your perspectives, your unique lens on the world, and that's what people are buying, right? It sounds so obvious, but I promise you, almost none of you are doing it. And I can look at your page in 2 seconds and tell. I had a new client start with me. I was reading her content and I was giving her a review, and I said to her that this was literally yesterday. I said to her, this is okay, but I can tell you've written this with ChatGPT. And she goes, can I just ask how you knew it was ChatGPT? And I'm like, because it was so fucking obvious. It's literally so fucking obvious. And there is nothing wrong with using ChatGPT to write your content. Nothing wrong with using ChatGPT in your business. I do it. I love it. AI is amazing. It's not about not using it. It's about we can tell. We can tell what is a transaction, and just you've used AI to do that versus what is you? What is actually you? What is actually your perspective? How you would actually say something, how you would actually do something, how you would actually interact with a human. You can tell. So the real problem here, it's that we've been conditioned to build brands around our knowledge and skills, or the things we do, rather than our essential selves, which is who we are, right? And I call this the replaceable expert trap, right? It's these people I see and I'm like, you are shooting yourself in the foot. Like, you are successful now. Yeah, you're at 30K months now. Yeah, whatever, you're getting hired right now. Your churn rate of clients is going to be so high because all you're doing is providing a service. Sure, people might stay on because you do a good service, but at the blink of a hat, if someone has a better service or if they like someone better, they will change. They will not hesitate to not rehire you. But if someone actually loves you, the human, they are more likely to stay in a parasocial relationship with you and stay in your world because you're good at what you do and they love you. So when we position ourselves solely around our tactical expertise, which we're all geniuses, we're all really good at what we do, but if we're positioning ourselves just around our specific knowledge, making ourselves replaceable, the moment that knowledge becomes outdated or wildly available, which is both happening right now in the online space, right? That is when we have a problem. So I had a client once who was really, really successful and she was making really good money. She had a solid following, but she was exhausted trying to keep up with every single design trend, constantly proving her technical expertise. She felt like she was convincing, and she was like literally had competitors left, right, and center, and she was constantly trying to keep up with them. And she was trapped in this hamster wheel of being the design expert, right? Rather than being herself, who has a really fucking wild talent for design, right? Herself was a wildly intuitive visual storyteller with like really provocative, my client used that word today, so I'm stealing her word, provocative perspectives on how visuals shape our subconscious perception of value. And that was what she was actually really good at, but she just caged herself thinking, well, I'm just a design expert. Like, I just help people with design. And I'm like, you're so much more. You're so much more. There is so much self-made potential and significance underneath that could really become something special in your brand. Yet we just like sugarcoat it and be like, yeah, I'm a design expert. But it's like the real cost of not becoming self-made in your business isn't just the constant fear of being replaced. It's actually that you have to keep performing. You have to keep constantly proving what you know rather than just being who you are. And let me tell you from personal experience, that place is exhausting. Content feels hard. You feel overwhelmed 24/7. You're constantly trying to keep up appearances. You're worried your clients will find out who you really are, that you're actually just a human. You're worried about any mistakes you make. You don't take risks anymore because you're so scared of losing it all. There is so many downfalls to building a brand around your business and not a brand around you, right? Positioning yourself as the expert and guru over positioning yourself as authentic and an authority. There's two differences there, right? So what makes this trap so sticky is the entire online business world reinforces this. Okay, niche down, everyone says, become the go-to expert, be the guru, be the expert, be the savior. But they never talk about the fact that the more you niche into a specific expertise, the more replaceable you become. And people say the opposite. And look, I have said where you have to be a specialist. Yes, you have to be a specialist, but there's a certain element of the way that I teach this in Brand DNA. It's not about specializing of like just the thing that you do. There's so much more to it, which again, I go into how to actually properly do the specialist vibe over generalist. I go into how to do that because that's how you get paid high ticket, right? And premium buyers. But there is a specific way you do it where you're not just caged by the expertise itself, okay? And the most powerful form of niching isn't around what you teach, it's around who you are when you teach it and who you're teaching these people to become. So, what the shift is that we want to look at is, what if the very thing that makes you irreplaceable isn't your knowledge? And I want you to start shifting your perspective. It's not your knowledge or skills at all. Because let's be totally fucking honest with, I'm just going to say it how it is. You are not special in what you teach. The fact that you're a mindset coach teaching subconscious patterns with NLP, you're not unique. The fact that you're a manifestation coach doing shadow work, you're not unique. The fact that you're a business coach working with the human first, you're not unique. The fact that you're a business coach working with systems, you're not unique. Like, none of these are unique. That is not unique. That does not give you solid brand DNA. The unique way that you see and interpret the world, yeah, that is unique. Not a single other human in this world has that. So something that really changed everything for me and my clients, for me, it was when I realized that I built a personal brand and it was self-made. And then I came into the business space and listened to all the business advice, and all of it great. However, I took it way too literal and I completely fucked up my personal brand. Like, hi, I'm Taylor and I fucked it up. So learn from me. And I built around what I did instead of who I am. And I literally stripped every element of who I was. I stopped posting things on my stories. I started to seem more professional. I started to only ever talk about my business. I started to, my most hated fucking saying in the online space, treat your business like a business. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. Just, I don't even know how many more times I can say that. Am I allowed to say it that many times? Don't know. It's my podcast. I am. But I started taking all of that advice. I literally lost my magnetism. I lost everything that made me me. I was no longer self-made. I was society made. I was industry made. And that is when you become replaceable. So in a world where information is literally so readily available, you can chat GPT a 7-figure business plan. You can chat GPT content. You can chat GPT being your therapist. You can chat GPT how to fucking write emails for you in your workspace. Like, chat GPT will do everything for you, right? But what it can't do, it can't replace your perspective. It's the only thing, your experience and perspective of this world that cannot be copied, automated, or made obsolete. So imagine if, instead of positioning yourself around what you know, which everyone can actually know, right? We all read the same books. We all fucking listen to the same philosophers. Like, that's not going to be your differentiator, okay? Everyone can eventually know the thing you know. But imagine if instead you built your entire brand around how you think, which only you can do. Not a single other person can do that. This is what I call perspective positioning. So when your unique lens of the world becomes more valuable than any specific knowledge you possess, that is when you fucking win. Okay, so let's break down why this matters now more than ever. First, we are drowning in information. We're not in an information shortage in the world, okay? Anyone can learn anything online for free. The value isn't knowing the things anymore. It's your unique perspective on those things. And when you implement them, what wisdom do you get from that? What mistakes did you learn? What did you learn? What did you win? All those things. Second, AI is coming for every knowledge-based business. If your entire value proposition in your business and brand is I know things, you're fucked. AI knows more things and it knows more things faster. But I have good news for you, just to not be all doom and gloom on you. AI cannot do one thing. It cannot be you. It can try. My AI is pretty fucking close to me. Let's be honest, it's really fucking good, but it can't be me. It can't have my lived experiences. It can't have my specific unique perspective shaped by my unique life path. It can't combine ideas in the way that my brain does it. Okay, it can say it better than me if I put it into it and say, tidy this up, but it couldn't come up with that because it didn't have my experience of that. Okay, so that is really, really, really important. When you start to lean into you instead of your knowledge base, everything changes. Your content will resonate more deeply. Your offers will sell more effortlessly and easily. Most importantly, you don't have to show up and pretend to be something that you're not. You can actually just show up online and not fucking overthink it. And not think, oh, am I an authority? You are naturally a motherfucking authority based on exactly who you are at any given fucking point in your life. And most importantly, you will stop feeling like you can be replaced by the next person who's learned the same tactics as you. So while everyone is freaking out about AI and algorithm changes, me and my clients and the true self-made brands are sitting back watching the chaos. And we are completely unbothered because we know that our value isn't in what we know, it's in who we are. So think about the creators and entrepreneurs that you follow religiously and you fucking love them. You literally love them, froth them, binge their stuff. It might be me, it might not be. Think of those people. Top 2, 3, that every single day you search for their shit. Why? Are you following them because they have exclusive information no one else has? Or are you following them because of how they see the world, how they communicate, and how they make you feel? I'm guessing the latter. Okay. The question isn't whether you should become self-made. The question is, what version of yourself are you brave enough to build a brand around, to put into your brand DNA? That is the question. So how do we actually become self-made in a world of replaceable experts? Here is a framework. It's my framework that you can take. Okay. So first, we want to identify your perspective patterns. This is where it all starts. So instead of focusing on what you know, focus on how you think. Shift your content with that one thing. I promise you that is going to make such a big difference. What connections do you make that other people don't? What do you notice that others miss? What assumptions do you question that others accept? Number 1, identify your perspective patterns. Okay. One exercise I love to do in this is it's called the That's Bullshit inventory. I do this myself. And I want you to make a list in your phone, wherever, of commonly accepted truths in your industry or niche that you just think are complete bullshit. These points of disagreement aren't random. They're the window into your unique perspective and your invisible advantage. Okay. Second, we want to excavate your origin stories. So these experiences, like in your life, the experiences that have shaped you aren't just interesting. They're not just, oh, a fun little story. They are the root system of your perspective. What formative experiences changed how you see your industry or area of expertise or why you're even here in the first place? Okay, these stories aren't just content, they are context for why you see things how you do, and they make your perspective impossible to replace, impossible to replicate. People can try to copy your shit, but they never will be able to. AI can learn information, but it can't have your third grade teacher tell you something that just absolutely changed how you see your own potential. AI can learn information, but it never had my eating disorder, right? That is my context that impacts how I do things now. So a powerful exercise, if you're like, I don't know what my origin stories are, right? Again, like I teach all this in Brand DNA, but a really powerful thing you can do is identify 3 to 5 pivotal moments that fundamentally shift your perspective on the area of your expertise. Make sure they're in line with your expertise. Don't just pick random moments that have nothing to do with what you're doing, right? So an example, a pivotal moment for me was losing weight, but yes, I can still relate that to what I do, but now I more so focus heavily on a pivotal moment of not going to uni instead. So it's just like picking which moments make more sense to go with what you're talking about to give that context. Okay. And then once you've got those, ask, how do these experiences inform how I approach my work in ways that others don't? Okay. Now, the third is we want to develop perspective first content. So instead of creating content that just shares information, which is instantly, you can replicate that with ChatGPT. I want you to start creating content that filters that information through your unique perspective. And don't just tell me what to do, tell me how you see it. Don't just share tips, share your specific thought process. Don't just teach tactics, reveal how your mind works with that thing. Okay, framework or like plug and play I love to use is everyone thinks X, but I've discovered Y, which means Z is for you. So this instantly positions your perspective as the valuable element, not just the information itself, right? Everyone thinks that macro tracking is the way that you lose weight, but I've discovered it's only half the equation, which means XYZ is for you, which means, mindset work is actually more so what you need to be focusing on. And here's why, right? I'm shifting your perspective on the common thing that everyone teaches on. 4, create personality driven frameworks. Okay. So personality driven frameworks, so important. Your methodologies shouldn't just be effective. They should be infused with your personality, your language, your quirks. So name things in ways only you would name them. Structure processes in ways that reflect how your mind works. Example, Brand DNA. I'm all about the human. So DNA makes sense for me. I'm all about psychology, decoding humans. Like it totally makes sense for my brand. 7 Deadly Sins is another one of my programs. What, like 7 Deadly Sins? Who would do that? I branded it with like death and it looks like it's got a skull and everything. It's so cool. Like that is only something that my brand could do. No, if someone else could try to replicate that and it wouldn't work for them because it just wouldn't suit their personality. Right? Another one is my brand autopsy, my content autopsies, right? It's like we're seeing what's dead in your content and what can't be revived and what can actually be saved. So how cool is that? That's on brand for me, and personality driven offers, personality driven things in my business. So that's really, really important. And finally, we want to amplify your natural strengths, right? Your invisible advantage, rather than fixing your weaknesses. So most brands' advice tell you to become polished, more professional, more perfect, but self-made brands do the opposite. And this is why they're the only ones who win long term. They double down on their weird quirks, on their edges, on their specific weirdness. Have you guys seen me back down on loving metal, being a goth girl? I literally share my goth music and my metal music on my reels. Most people would never do that, right? But I bring it in and infuse it into my brand because it's a weird edge I have. I now get clients who hire me because I love metal music and they do too. And they're like, thank you for giving me permission to post metal on my page. I didn't think I could do that. Something so little, right? You think I would think, oh, I gotta, put Taylor Swift on there because that's what all the bitches love. But it's like, no, I am bitches and I love metal music. So I'm going to do it for me and I'm going to do it for myself because then I'm going to find my weirdos. I'm going to find the people who love that. Right. So we need to like stop changing ourselves for how other people work, especially even like our tone and way we do things. Someone is going to listen to this podcast episode and say, Taylor, you swear way too fucking much. And I'm going to say, you are absolutely correct. Don't listen to my shit. Like, if you don't like it, that's okay. I'm not asking you to like it. I'm not asking you to accept it. But if you want to, great. Listen, you'll get something valuable out of it. But I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to convince you. I'm so comfortable in who I am that I amplify the natural parts of me. I'm quite blunt when I say shit. I'm like, look, I'm going to tell you the fucking truth. This is what it is. You like it or you don't, but that's what it is. I don't have an agenda. I just say the truth. My agenda is simply to say the truth, with which the truth sometimes it's really hard to hear, but it's going to help you in the long run. But I'm also very compassionate. I'm also very much like, I get it. I get that that's happening. I'm not going to judge you, right? I'm going to help you see how wildly fucking amazing you are, and that the things that you think are weaknesses, they are actually your strengths, right? So are you naturally blunt in the way that you deliver things? Don't soften it, right? Like, oh, I need to make other people happy. No, you don't. Fuck that shit. Make it your superpower. Are you wildly detailed and you love details? Don't keep it simple. Are you deeper, more philosophical, but you think you need to dumb your content down? Don't do that. Lean into your beautiful complexity. That's the brilliance. That's your gift. That's your genius. Like, lean into that. Are you more introverted and are you obsessed with freaking romance novels? Like, I literally just read this last night. Are you obsessed with that? Show us. Let us see that. You're a bookworm. We love that. Don't force yourself to be extroverted, right? The most powerful thing we can do is, what would this look like if it was easy? I'm not even kidding. That question will change your life with content. What would this look like if this was easy? The answer is almost always, if I just showed up as myself instead of who I think I should be, it would probably be easy. Yeah, fucking bingo bango, baby. That is it. Okay, so let's wrap this up of what I've really come to believe about branding, business. Business is a spiritual journey. Branding is a spiritual journey. We're here to reveal ourselves through our content, not and shape ourselves through our content. We're not here to put on a fucking mask and pretend to be something we're not and pretend to be perfect just because it's going to get us paid. You can do that. Again, as I said, you'll be replaceable. The purpose of building a personal brand isn't to create some polished, perfect version of yourself that literally has to compete in the marketplace. It's to become so undeniably yourself that you transcend the marketplace entirely. So in philosophy, I love philosophy. If you're new here, hi, my name's Taylor. I have a kink for philosophy and like stoicism. I love it so much. So there's this concept called irreducible complexity. So this means something that cannot be broken down into simple parts without losing its essential nature. I love humans and I love to decode humans, but I love human nature so much of just understanding all the things that we try to avoid, change, mold about ourselves, that if we actually would stop resisting, we would get rid of all of our problems. So like another way to explain that is, if it's raining and your hair's getting wet, you are really annoyed and upset that it's raining. You're like, oh fuck, like it's raining. I just fucking washed my hair. Like, I'm so upset. Yes, upsetting. But like, it's not bad that it's raining, but you make it bad that it's raining. It's only bad because you think it shouldn't be raining. It's the same with humans. The things that we're thinking, it's only because we think they shouldn't be thinking that we make things harder than what they are. Sorry, we think they shouldn't be the way they are. So if you run the narrative of things shouldn't be the way they are, fuck, branding, business, like life is going to be really hard for you. And a truly self-made brand is just this. It is so complex to the human and the DNA of you that it's so simple. It's so simple when you just actually let it be. It's the beautiful simplicity, complexity, both molded together for your expression of your humanity to come out and to be expressed online. And I'm telling you right now, your DNA cannot be replicated, automated, or commoditized. I'm telling you right now. So we're living through one of the greatest shifts in how value is created and perceived since fucking forever. Like, I grew up in a time where this would not have even been possible. I didn't go to university and thought I was going to be a fucking failure my whole life. I thought I'd be working at a job that would make 40K a year. And like, I was like, sweet, like that's what it is because I'm not good at anything. And then I started posting content. And then I started to become a self-made brand. And I've literally made multi-seven figures since. Your whole life can change when you wrap your head around this. Most people fail in personal brand. I can look at someone and whether they choose to be self-made or society made, I know whether they're going to be successful. Self-made, I'm like, fuck yeah, you've got it. You've got that it factor. Society made, I know they're not going to be successful unless they can transition over here. And it's all about how we think about our personal brand and how we approach and are intentional with our content. So with AI, access to information is unlimited. The only remaining value is literally specifically you. So what if the entire goal of your brand, your personal brand, isn't to prove your expertise or demonstrate your knowledge? What if it was to express your humanity in a world that's increasingly inhumane? The self-made brand is the brand that has solid brand DNA. The self-made brand isn't just a business strategy, it is a radical act of human expression in a world trying to make humans replaceable. So I'll leave you with this question. If you stopped trying to prove in your content, in your brand, in your business, if you stopped trying to prove what you know, and if instead you actually started expressing who you are, what kind of brand would you actually build? And what would become possible if your entire business was built around the one thing that no one can ever take from you, which is your essential self, your true innate nature of who you are, and you stop trying to hide it? So if this episode hit a nerve or really spoke to your soul, even made your shoulders kind of like relax or be like, oh, fuck, like finally someone said it, I want to hear from you. I want you to screenshot it, pretty please. And every single screenshot, share, tag on your page, send in to a friend. It truly, truly, truly matters to me. It means a lot. And I want to hear, what did you think of this episode? Send me a DM. Do you want to become self-made? Send me a DM if you're like, fuck yeah, I'm going to become self-made. Like that actually shifted something in me. Slide into my DMs, tell me, share it on your stories, let other people listen to this because I feel like more people need this. I want more money in the lives of people who are going to change others' lives, but it needs to impact you as well. There's no point building a brand just for other people to serve other people and then be completely miserable. I want you to feel significant in your work. You know, most business coaches focus on, yeah, let's impact as many people as we can. But I'm like, what about you? Is your life actually impacted in a positive way through your brand and business? Because if not, why the fuck would you want it? Why would you want to grow and scale that? So while most people focus on the cash they can get you, I focus on the cash I can get you in a way that feels really good. So I read and respond to every single message that comes through because connecting with real life humans is kind of the whole fucking point of a social media account, right? We're here to be social. So if you're ready to build your brand based on you, you're ready to become self-made, you don't just want to build a business around what you do or what you know. My brand DNA program is for you. This is built for exactly this transformation. And yes, I do get AI to help you, but it's in a way that we've got to either work with AI or have it just like we can push against it all we want, but it's not going anywhere. So let's leverage it, but leverage it in a way that can be human, not inhuman, right? Most people don't know how to use it. They don't know how to prompt it. They don't know what to put into it. I'm giving you everything to put into it to make sure it is you, to make sure it is laced with your humanness, right? It's where in this program, I help entrepreneurs, creatives, service providers, coaches uncover and amplify their unfuckwithable advantage in business, their essential selves. their DNA, and we lace it through everything you do. So this isn't about just building another cookie cutter brand, another template sequence while you get the templates and all that kind of jazz. It's about becoming self-made in a world full of replicas. You'll never compete again when you do this program. So you can find the details in the box below. You can hit me up if you want it, or it's in my link in bio. Until next time, remember, in a world desperately trying to make all of us replaceable and all of us forget what human connection is, the thing that's going to really work for you and bond with your audience is you. You being there, you being present, and you actually really fucking enjoying making content. So I hope that this has landed for you. I hope that you're not just like, how do I build a brand? But you're like, how do I fucking build a self-made brand? Like, fuck yeah, that sounds good. It's your only real advantage in a world where AI is going to make people replaceable. Choose to be the one that it doesn't have the ability to do that with. All right. Bye.